It's about nothing but the time. Blitz, Bama, blitz.
Give me Alabama to break.
If somebody takes what's yours, and this is our game, it's our time, and there's the guy's trying to take it from you. So that makes this shit personal.
So let's make it personal, baby. We ain't here tonight on June 29th, 2025. 1 minute after 7 p.m. How you boys doing? We got the big three in here tonight of the channel. The big three, top three, ready to take your plate. My boy JB got the shirt on that says history. Well, Bama make history this year. We gonna see. We gonna see. JB, how we living tonight, brother?
Hey, man, what it do, y'all? Your boy JB in for another episode of Sunday Night Talk'n Bama. Y'all get ready. It's going to be a great show. Back in the building, JT and our dog, Herb, running the boards tonight. What's up with you, bro?
I've been sitting there for like 5 minutes trying to think of something cool to say to start. I got nothing. So, man, I'm just ready to go tonight. I got nothing, man.
I like that John Cena shirt, by the way.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Herb said tonight you can't even see him. All we see is just the Alabama right there with a microphone. That's all we see.
There you go.
So, guys, I'm JT, your host here tonight, right here, Sunday Night Talk'n Bama. We got a great show in tune for you guys tonight. Before we get into the promos real quick, I'm going to talk about what we're going to do tonight, guys. One, is Alabama still a threat? Sellers from South Carolina quoted the Florida State quarterback's quote. We're going to get into that tonight and talk about what the South Carolina quarterback said, because he actually has played Bama, and he actually does know what this team is like. I think he has more room to talk and is more qualified than the other one. And then we're going to get into, is Ty Simpson on a short leash tonight? If he struggles on a slow start, does he get pulled? Does he stay? Hey, I'm going to be honest, man. I like Ty's throw I've seen in the Mariner camp. I like them throws I've been seeing. Now, I know it's no contact, no pads in there. They throw it, but, man, it looks good. It looks good. And then we're going to get into I called it, this will be the steak tonight. That was the potatoes right there, okay, to start it out. But the steak tonight, guys, we're going to get into it. Some of this recruiting, but also if DeBoer was to produce another, let's say, top 3, 2, 3, 1 class right here, and he doesn't put it on the field, though, is that seat getting hotter? Is that seat getting hotter? Question mark, question mark. Got a lot of them filled tonight. But before we get started, JB, let the people know what they need to have waving around at Saban Field.
The countdown is on the way. We about to go into July. Then August is right around the corner. And you know what time it is once September hits? Football time. And to support your Crimson Tide at Saban Field, Bryant Denny Stadium, you need to get your title towel. Go to whitwheelsports.com. Use the promo code STANDARD. Get you a nice discount. Courtesy of your favorite Bama network, the Bama Standards.
Make sure you check them out today, guys. And also, if you have ever had a project you're trying to do at your home and you're looking for some real stone, guys, look no further than realrockstone.com. Make sure you go check them out, guys. They're located in Oneida, Alabama, the most trusted source in the state today. Hit them up, let them know the Bama Standard sent you, and you will get 10% off your first order. Also, if you put in there JB beside it, they might give you 20. You never know. Check them out at realrockstone.com.
You never know.
It's a gamble. It's a gamble. It's a gamble. You might be playing roulette. You never know. So, guys, we're going to dive right into it tonight. And this is going to be something quick right here, though. Chat, I want you guys to get involved because we're going to be answering questions on the back end of the show. Make sure you leave us some nice comments. Well, I wouldn't say nice, but leave us some good comments, some good questions. Kyle, I see you, brother. Roll Tide. Corey P in the house. Roll Tide. We got the other Roderick in here. Good evening, gentlemen. Roll Tide, brother.
Ragsdale.
Yeah. They're everywhere. It's like they're on trees, just dropping off everywhere. Next thing you know, they're commenting on my Facebook video, harassing me about tonight, telling me, "Oh, you gotta bring this up tonight, don't you, Herb?"
What are you talking about?
You didn't see it. You didn't see it on Facebook? So I'll bring it up. There he goes. Never knew JT was a fan of Barbie World song. So real quick, we'll get started. So there goes.
I'm sorry, you were saying, did I see what now?
You definitely saw it. You definitely.
Bro, I was not trying to see JT in a dress tonight. Y'all tripping.
He definitely saw it. He definitely saw it. So,
Hey,
that video-
yo.
But listen, me and Mia made some great memories making that video. I'll say that right now. And it was worth it. That was funny.
Hey, yo.
Hey, and I'm going to tell you just like this right now. I'm still cute. It don't matter. All right, dress or not, baby. You see,
this is why the Cena shirt, because I might betray anybody at any moment. So.
You tripping.
That was good, bro. That was good. That was funny there. So, guys, now we're going to kick off the show, guys. We're going to get right into it. Is Alabama a threat? Question mark. Apparently, Florida State's quarterback thinks that we are like Louisiana State University or something. I don't know. Well, that's LSU, but I meant like La Tech. I meant La Tech. I meant like La Tech or something like that. But it just kind of came out as that. Anyway, LaNorris Sellers defends Alabama in a way, basically stating that Alabama's still Bama. This is a guy that played Alabama too as well, and it came down to the wire playing him too. The man played a great game. He said Bama's still Bama. He said the defense great, play great. You know, don't know what this guy's talking about. And then it was kind of funny too, JB. I don't know if you saw this on X or you heard, but his former teammate came out and was like, I don't really remember it like that. And I was like, yeah, you get it talking like that, man. People going to come out and say something. JB, how you feel about this, man?
Well, first of all, LaNorris Sellers, man, he's a smart young man.
Yes.
Smart young man, you know, and I get what the Florida State quarterback Castellanos was trying to do. I get what he was trying to say. He was trying to get some bulletin board material for the offseason. Some we can talk about Florida State because they haven't been talked about the way Bama is talked about in the offseason. Nobody really is thinking about Florida State right now. So he had to say something. He had to say something to get some headlines. So what he don't realize is that you got other quarterbacks like Sellers who played Bama, like JT mentioned last season, and he played fairly well, but he knows what it's like. He knows what it's like. This is people can say all they want. Bama's not the same because Saban's not there, and you only going off of what happened last season with a new coach coming in, kind of having to be like the substitute teacher, so to speak.
A unicorn season.
Yeah, so he just coming in. But now, season 2, well, he's got all his recruits in there and his players, and he gets to mold these guys. You may see a different animal this season than you saw last season. Now, that game was tough. I was at that South Carolina game. We struggled that game, but we barely won. Like I mentioned, Sellers played fairly well, but he's going to be better this season. But the smart thing to say is Bama's still Bama. Bama's still Bama. We had a down season, but guess what? We're still talked about. We're still up there in recruiting, which we'll talk about later, and we're still going to be a preseason top 10. So for all the naysayers out there, yes, I'm still using that naysayer term. All y'all know what y'all can do. You can shine it up real nice, turn it sideways, and stick it somewhere where the sun don't shine. All your opinions.
That boy JB on him tonight. Well, I feel that too, though, JB. And I think Sellers, if anybody has room to talk, like I said, you said it too. He has room to say something. Herb, how you feel about this and button it up for us, brother?
First, it was dumb. And even if you just want to talk trash and do a little clout, he shouldn't have brought Saban's name into it. That was taking it a step too far. Mm-hmm. And then his next conference that had nothing to do with his next comments that had nothing to do with Alabama was about how he was tearing up the ACC. Like you weren't doing that either. You didn't even finish the year, and you didn't keep your job the entire time anyway. So, like, come on, man. And as a quarterback, why would you want another target on your back? That just doesn't even make sense. But yeah, is Alabama still respected? Absolutely, man. When teams beat us, they rush in the field. They playing in that. Like, this is that moment for their. I still have Oklahoma fans. You went 6-6 and lost to a service academy in the bowl, and that's all they talk about. Hey, that was our one moment last year. We beat Bama. So no, still respected, still a threat. And I think the people who know things That's why you're getting all these top 10, top 5 rankings going in. They see something brewing. So let them talk trash. That's dumb. If that's how you want to start off your year, it's a terrible way to start off. You have to pretty much have a 300-yard, 3 or 4 TD game against us to back this up at this point. If it's bad, if you throw a couple interceptions, like what were you even doing? So I can't wait for Florida State.
You know what I like? I like how all our players, especially our defensive guys, got up under that comment and were making, faces and crying emojis and, hey, just wait. It's fuel to the fire. And it's the first game of the season too. They're gonna be ready to put the pads to the it's gonna be great. And I'm gonna
pause on helmets, baby. Pause on helmets, baby. They're gonna want to put them on his back. Yeah. It's kind of like one of those things that you could have dissed us and we would have been like, all right, cool, you dissed us. But when you bring Saban up, it's almost like you rub the wound that's sore because it's like, no, don't say that. We can still do this without him. And you trying to be funny right now. And now we really finna have to pick you up and body slam you. I'm telling you right now, and this is coming from Florida State's fans right here too. After he said that, before he said that, I said, yeah, bro, it's going to be a sneaky good game right here. A close game. Sneaky. It could be. He said that. I saw Florida State message board saying, yeah, bro, we're going to lose by 24 now. I would not be surprised going into halftime. We're up 24-0 or something like that. I would not be shocked. I'm telling you, that is going to be pinned up. And already you just fed them. You just fed him. You gave him more feed. Man, if I was that coach, I would not let him speak to nobody. He would not be allowed to have a phone. Yeah. No, sir, dog.
The best case scenario is that our defense beats him down so bad. I'm not wishing injury on nobody. I don't wish he gets hurt. I just wish he gets benched. We beat him so bad he doesn't do anything but go sit on the bench, and that'll be a sweet revenge.
I hope he's ready. I really hope he's ready for it, because especially Bama, they went like, how many edits are going to be made from these people? I'm going to make a couple, but the people on TikTok, man, you're going to be, oh my God, dude, you're going to get your viral moment. Probably not the one you want. We're going to kind of button that up, kind of leave that where it is, guys. A lot of people talked about that. I kind of wanted to touch on it, but from a different angle, because what Sellers is saying is correct. Yeah. Bama's still Bama. We'll kind of move on. Now, when we talk about this right here, this is hypothetical, so I don't want nobody to be like, oh, dang, they're wishing bad on Ty. But we're going to say, is he on a short leash? What does that mean? How do we feel about that? Like, what happens if he was to at all struggle or not? What do they give him time to breathe is what I'm saying, basically. JB, how do you feel about this? Do you feel, and what I mean by the time to breathe, he throws a couple picks, things ain't looking right. We're still in the game, though, 7 points, 3 points, something like that, right there in the game. And it's like, but it's just stagnant. Nothing's happening. Do you put a spark? You plug in somebody and get a spark, or how short the leash is? How do you feel on this, JB?
Man, I could look at this a couple different ways. I posed this question probably about, I think, a few weeks back when we were talking about something else. And then I brought it up, and I know you said we're going to talk about it later. Well, now is later. So let's talk about it. Now, I don't know if he will be pulled that game. I think it depends on how the game's going and how bad he plays. And this is all hypothetical. We don't wish him to play bad. I don't think he will play bad.
I think he'll play good.
I don't think so. So I can look at it as, okay, you got immensely talented young quarterback in Keelan Russell waiting in the wings. And this all is in theory that Ty is named the starter, because he's really not been named the starter yet, the official starter. So if he's named starter, this is what we're going on. So let's say he struggles a bit, throws a pick, doesn't move the ball well, and it's a close game, and we go into halftime, and we may be down a touchdown or so. He hasn't done anything. I think you put him back out there and just don't – you can't bench him right there at that moment. I feel like you can't bench him in that game unless it's a blowout. We're down 21 or something like that. Then you come bring another spark in. But if you bench your quarterback that you said is going to be your QB1 and he makes a few mistakes and the game is nipped up, and you bench him for another quarterback, you killed his confidence already.
Yep.
Week 1, you've killed his confidence
Yep.
week 1. So you can't do that. And I know a lot of people called for Jalen Milroe to be benched last season. Coach DeBoer did not do that. He did not do that. And we can go back. We can go back to the previous year when Saban, he only benched Milroe for something that it wasn't his play. It was something else. It was his attitude after the Texas loss where he was benched. And then you saw him come back that Ole Miss game, play well, and kind of take over the rest of the way. Mm-hmm. We can't do that first game of the season with a new starting quarterback. Now, Ty Simpson, I believe, gives us the best chance to win because he's been there, right? He's got all the experience, and he should be ready to go. But in the fact that an injury happens or, some unforeseen happens, and we have to put in a Keelan Russell, I would be comfortable with him as well because of the talent. And he's probably going to make mistakes because young quarterbacks do that. But for Ty to be on a short leash, I'm going to disagree with that. I think we kind of let him play through anything that goes on because, guys, it's his first year starting a quarterback in college football, in the toughest conference in college football. So you got to take the bad with the good. You have to take the bad with the good. So I say no to the short leash.
Yeah, I'm with you too. And I think Kyle said a minute ago, you don't bench him game 1. You said it too as well. You definitely can't because that'll kill his confidence. And that would be too much. And another thing is we'll talk about this in the next segment. But the reason I say the short leash is that things don't go good. You lose 3 games this year. That seat's a lot warmer. Okay, seat's a lot warmer. And sometimes you have to make decisions. Herb, how do you feel about this right here? Short lease, maybe 9.
And look, last year was a rough year. DeBoer's already on the hot seat. If Ty Simpson loses the coin toss in game 1, hey, we going to the
man. Stop it, Herb. Stop it.
Just tell you, this fan base, they ready, boy. I'm telling. Look, I remember JT posting one time when we made the wrong choice on the coin toss about what was DeBoer doing. So I know he with me, right?
Yes, I did. As soon as it happened, I said we done lost the damn coin toss.
No, I mean, the offense is going to start a little slower than the defense, I think, anyway. So I just don't think you can put a whole lot of stock into the first part of game 1. We always know that, man. All defenses are usually ahead of schedule. I don't expect this game to go sideways. I expect the first half to maybe be a little bit slower, than what we're thinking. Ty, first year, like you said, starting the next couple games after Florida State aren't that bad. You got to roll with him. I think he makes it through the first game no matter what happens. I saw in there, does he throw 3? I just don't see Ty putting the ball in that much harm. So I think his idea of a bad game is maybe throwing the ball away, maybe missing a receiver or 2. But I don't see a lot of picks. I don't see a lot of huge mistakes. So I think it's going to be fine. Should he have a short leash? If he did, it would not be because of Ty. It would be because of the pressure on DeBoer and the staff after last year. And I don't think that's fair to him.
Yeah.
But for him personally, I think he's going to be fine. And I don't expect him to have a bad game either.
And Herb, that hence why you asked this question. It ain't because of Ty.
Right.
It is because of the situation is why I'm saying that. It could be Keelan Russell. It could be Austin Mack. It could be Milroe again.
Right.
It could be any one of these guys. But if things don't go right and that seat starts getting a little hotter and you lose a game, especially you wasn't exposed to lose, you drop a Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Whoa. We were supposed to win that. We still got to play LSU. We got Georgia. We got Auburn in the year, Jordan Hare. We got Oklahoma. We got to get back this year. What are we doing? What are we doing? So I think that's where somebody else said it too right here. Run game. Hence the run game will help Ty a lot. Also, hence that we arguably going to have one of the best defenses in the country, especially starting the season. Now, obviously, you got to play it out, start seeing how that comes out by week 6, 8, 9, 10, and down the road. But Bama on paper right now is one of the best defenses there is. Just got to transition to the field with a game plan. But look at the last 6 weeks and down for Bama in the defense. Defense was not bad. We didn't lose to Tennessee because of the defense. Okay.
No.
If anything, we were still in that game because of the defense. And the only reason it came down to us even having a shot was because the defense got some stops and held up in some crucial parts where we gave short leashes to the offense. So I think the defense is going to do Ty a big favor. And not hindering Ty. I'm not saying that because I've said it yesterday on Twitter last night, and it kind of blew up too. And I said I can admit I'm wrong. In Ty we trust. Bro, Ty's slinging that thing. I like it. I want a man to go out there and throw for 450 yards and 10 touchdowns in the first game.
Yeah.
That would be it. You know, maybe it'd be ironically if Ty was to get in the Heisman talk. That would be wild. I wonder how many people would have predicted that.
And you
JB.
got, I see Kennedy and Dexter in the chat mentioning the O-line. We have the number one O-line according to Pro Football Focus.
Yep.
So if they play the way they're supposed to play, Ty should have no issues back there. And I was thinking about this while y'all were talking. What if Florida State brings pressure at Ty just to test him and, you know, force him to making mistakes? He hasn't seen pressure like that. But if our O-line stands up like they're supposed to, and we have an elite group of wide receivers, it's gonna be a great day.
AJB elite group of wide receivers mixed with an elite OC that is Dr. Grubbs that's gonna be calling them audibles. As soon as they start bringing them guys, he said, "Okay, cool. Watch this. Williams 2-yard dig, cut in, and he's gonna be wide open. He's gonna dump it off. And call. You'll start moving plays around then, and I think that'll be a good chess match to watch.
The key to Ty's gonna have to learn those plays, those extra plays that Grubb brings
and
in.
See the blitz. Seeing it before the snap, all right, they're coming from the left. I need to roll right here and get it out in the first 2 seconds, probably. Or hey, I do not have time to hit Williams on the post. I got to hit the under route. You got to know what route everybody's running. That's why knowing the playbook is huge. And I'm not going to sit here and preach like I know more than any other D1 athlete. They obviously know way more than I do. But knowing the playbook is huge. And it goes down to this too, JB. You said it before. I've heard you. Sometimes when we talk about running backs getting, especially in the NFL, running backs getting on the field, if you can't pass block, I mean, you ain't getting on that. You ain't getting on that field. You better be. You going to have to be like Barkley. Like you going to have to be like somebody just beyond extravagant. Like you're going to be top tier. Like you're going to be arguably one of the best ever at your position to be doing that. Because if not, son, you're going to have to pass block. That quarterback get paid a lot of money. Yeah. And in college football, they get paid a lot of money too. So
that's right.
You're going to have to pass block. And that's another thing when we talk about running backs. We talk about the Richard Youngs or Jam Millers. And we saw Jam Miller. He plays, in my opinion, Jam Miller is the trifecta. He's got the pass block. He can run the ball and catch the ball. I mean, in my opinion, he's a 3-down back to me too. I feel like you can give him the ball in 3rd and 2 and he can get in there. So I'm excited to see it. But also Richard Young's just oozing with talent, and then Daniel Hill, thumper right there with him. We got A.K. Deere last year. I mean, oh, man, that running back room's loaded too, man. We talking about these wide receivers and the O-line, but that running back room loaded, man. So that'll kind of button us up right there. JB, hit us real quick on the Title Tower promo.
Yeah, man, we got to get with Will Sports. We're going to start giving away some of these things again like we did last season. Yeah, we're going to give y'all some title towels to the elite fans that watch our show. But to get your own and support your Crimson Tide 24/7, like the fellas do, go to whitwillsports.com. Use the promo code STANDARD. Get you a nice discount courtesy of your favorite Bama network, the Bama Standard.
Yes, sir. So, guys, we're going to get into the main topic tonight. And this is going to open up a warp hole of questions, answers, and a lot of different stuff right here, I feel like. Is DeBoer under pressure to perform? If he has another top-rated class, and it doesn't transition on the field, though, is his job safe? ? And we'll pin that on the wall real quick. And let's talk about what's going on right now with the recruiting with that. So we'll pin that what I just asked. Let's put that over here. Now let's talk about what's been going on the past couple weeks, though, to add with that, and we can answer that. So latest today, 5-star commit, linebacker, Xavier Griffin, 6'3", 200-pound linebacker from Gainesville, Georgia, is now Alabama's highest-rated commit in the 2026 class, ranked number 1 linebacker, number 8 overall, and that is through 24/7 Sports. Now, that might be different for On3. You can transition that how you want to. He chose Bama over Florida State, Ohio State, USC, Texas. He becomes Alabama's second 5-star in the class, joining Edmonds, the cornerback that we have also as well. This is going to push Bama into the top 10 nationally recruiting right here. And we're just getting started for real, guys. And if you look at what's been going on, like other like key additions to the Tide right here, EJ, the running back we just got, 5-star running back, reclassified in 2027. He is 5'11", 200 pounds, ran for nearly 2,000 yards, 31 touchdowns as a sophomore. That is wild. As a sophomore did that. Committed on June 26th, so that was actually just recently as well. And then we had Sutter, the tight end from Illinois, just commit. So you can tell this staff is on a roll. And then before that, we had a quarterback Jet. We had the defensive lineman JJ, the offensive lineman Sam, the running back Burnett, and the DB Kelly. So like this staff is pushing recruiting right now super hard. Obviously, it's the off season. It's what you do. But I don't feel like they're spending their nickels too quick, though, if that makes sense. They're calculating where they put in every single dime. They're not just like, yeah, all right, cool, throw the bag on this guy. Let's hope it sticks. I feel like they're like, all right, cool, let's do this because this is what we need. They're starting to realize. Last year they went into recruiting kind of blind. They didn't know what we needed, the coaching staff. They didn't really truly know. Now they have a better vision of what they actually need to make this team successful. JB, with all that, given all that right there, how do you feel?
I'm feeling good, bro. I'm feeling good. Shouts out to Xavier Griffin, man, for committing. Everybody had their feelings that he will be committing to Bama, and he did commit to Bama hours ago today. So shouts out to him. Man, every time I see Courtney Morgan on Twitter and he posts one of them gifts, no matter what it is, I already know it's going to be a good day in recruiting. I already know. Courtney Morgan, man, I called him Bama Rick Ross because, you know, the big boy got swag, man. I know swag is an old term, you know, from early 2000s, but big boy got swag. Courtney Morgan is moving. He moves the needle for Bama. We can say all we want about the recruiting, and I know people always bring up Saban with recruiting and all that, and the boy can't recruit, but Courtney Morgan is the puppet master. He's making these things happen behind the scenes. Now, if we can land Sedarian Morgan and Tank Jones, oh my goodness, we get these in-state kids. We already taking all the goods from Georgia. We stealing from our next door neighbors. Now, I ain't gonna say it's wrong. I mean, or right or wrong, but if we can get Georgia's talent, get Bama's talent, and we got that West Coast connection too. Listen, man. Bama, and mark my words, Bama's going to have a top 3 recruiting class this year. I don't know. I don't have no intel. I don't know who's going to be next, who's going to be after that, but they're doing a damn good job in recruiting, so we got to salute them. And JT, I know you're going to talk about how this would affect Kalen DeBoer coaching these guys on the field. Now is his time. He's really getting his team. And when a new coach comes in, you got to give him at least 3 years. You got to give them at least 3 years because they come in coaching somebody else's kids. You need a couple years to get your own kids in. So now this class is all his, and I'm excited for these guys. A lot of these guys won't play next season, because, you know, some freshmen don't get to play. But you also see Ryan Williams. You see the outliers who are just so great that you can't keep them off the field. So
look out for the John Lee this year on the defensive side.
So you're going to see some freshmen playing that are going to be the outliers that you can't keep off the field. Right. And that's where recruiting comes in. That's where recruiting comes in. When you keep getting these guys who's ready to play now, these 17-year-olds who's ready to play with the big boys, you winning, man. So
Yep.
I mean, salute to the coaching staff for the recruiting.
Yep.
Herb, how you feeling about this one, brother?
To piggyback off the end of that one first, the other thing about when these guys come in is they know if they're good enough, they have a chance. What we say about 5-6 years ago, you as a freshman, you know you had zero chance of playing in Alabama. Now, you know, if you come in and you put in the work and get on, that's why a lot of them are getting on campus a lot earlier. You know, used to be, hey, I'll wait till the summer, I'll wait till fall to really get going. Now they're here in the spring. Yep. The second they can leave high school, they're here. That's why they put in the work, because they know. And look, even last year, you know, he hit the ground running. He still had the number 3 recruiting class with trying to keep the Bama, you know, keep Bama together. So no, man, he's on fire now. Courtney Morgan, would he get a raise 1 year in here? And now it seems like he's underpaid already. I mean, they're just managing this about as well as you can. What did we say? We wanted a better commitment to your in-state stuff. They're getting it. Now we're going into Georgia and stealing top guys there too. I mean, they're just on fire. They're building something for the future. And everybody, it's funny. What was like 2-3 weeks ago? They were looking at our rankings and talking about how bad it was. Yeah. Why would we just be patient? I mean, the summer was not even getting going yet.
Herb, do you know where Auburn's ranked out on 3 right now for ranking?
In the 70s.
78. You know what we currently ranked out on 3? 8.
Yeah, give it another week.
We are
another week or 2.
spots.
We'll be.
Yeah. I'm more or less just saying. Auburn fans talking about DeBoer can't recruit DeBoer and stuffing him in a locker, and I think you had it the other way around, boy. DeBoer stuffing Freeze into a locker right now. Actually been doing it, even last year. And then getting Ryan Williams to come back. That was good too. That's an underrated thing that we forgot about, I think, too.
Yeah.
Was getting Ryan Williams to come back.
Yeah,
I think that as we see that right now, that is very, very, very huge. So yeah. And speaking about that too, just something I was looking at too, because this is something we can start kind of chatting about. The average NIL value for this class right here, $159,000 is what On3 has placed right here. Now, that could be some different things they're looking at. I think those are numbers that you'll start looking at, maybe getting some more accurate. I don't think that's accurate enough. I think it's probably close, maybe some more in there. But and then like an average distance from home, there I looked something up too, and they say study shows some guys will obviously play closer to home, and 397 miles is the average distance from home from out of all the commits that we have right now. So not too far, ain't too bad. It ain't like it's 12 hours away, but I mean that's a nice little drive, but not too bad. 14 commits as well, and this could change.
You know something? It don't really matter now, the distance, because I mean you get money now. You can fly the family in. And you got bread.
Good point.
They can fly first class to the games now, so it don't even matter no more.
Or hey, Booster, part of me coming to commit here, my parents got to get flights to every game, home game or whatever. Okay, cool, boom.
Yeah,
I would not be shocked if there is not. And if somebody be like, "Yeah, they're doing that," you're crazy.
Man, the boy got a little jet.
Boy
flying like Ric Flair in the 80s, man.
Boy got the alligators on.
Boy flying like Flair, man. Come on.
Big steppers. We're gonna move into the question segment, though, guys. That'll kind of tap us out tonight, but keep an eye on recruiting.
So you good with this?
Oh well, I thought JB hit it kind of, but I thought we can go ahead. Well, Herb, do you?
No, you're good. You the ball. Yeah.
We need to know what you thinking.
Oh.
Is he under pressure? Yeah. So here's the thing, right? Let's say he has an 8-4 season, 7-5, whatever, right? The fan base is gonna be like, get him out of here. But then this recruiting class that he comes to, everybody's free. Everybody that's currently on the roster staying is free, and the recruiting class, everybody's free to go. You got 30 days where everybody gets to poach your roster. And if it's not during one of those periods, you can't grab people to replace it. So I think he's insulated a little bit, but 8-4, 7-5 might be enough to be like, all right, this just ain't working. So you got to mix both. You got to mix both. You know what I mean? 9-3, I think he's safe. We're gonna be upset. 9-3 missing the playoffs. I think he's safe, but nobody will be happy. But you dip below that number, it's gonna be tight then.
I don't think he's gonna even want to be here if he go 9-3 again. I don't even know if he's gonna want to be here, bro. But
the pressure to keep the class together, I think, is the one thing that might save him.
I think the question is gonna be eventually this. And I think we're gonna ask this question in December a lot. And I'm gonna come back to this episode in June, especially if it happens in December. NFL might be calling DeBoer this year if he does what he does at Bama. The NFL might call him.
Oh, no.
And I know that may seem far-fetched right now. But I said this from when we hired him off rip, that we no longer have the Saban kind of doctored in. We're good. Don't have to worry about any of those rumors of anything like that. He was home. That's where he wanted to be. We don't know that about DeBoer. We don't know, what if the NFL calls? What if he does really good at Bama? Things happen in the NFL this year. Next thing you know, they calling Kalen DeBoer offering him a job, and then we could. I'm just saying that those are things to look at.
I think he stays if the NFL calls, man. I mean, you're building something at Bama.
Yeah.
So think about this, guys. And we know it was a lot of pressure on Coach DeBoer, but he hasn't really proven himself in like any kind of longevity. Okay, the 2 years at Washington, he was great. He took a bottom of the barrel team, took them up to the top of their conference, took them to the national championship game. Then he gets the call to come replace the GOAT of all GOATs, Nick Saban. All that pressure, and to start off how you started off last season in a big win over Georgia, and how everybody was praising him. And then you wet the bed against Vandy. Everybody knows that. The Tennessee loss and then the Oklahoma loss was just terrible. All right, so to finish the season off like you did, that's putting pressure on your ass at Alabama. Now, you got recruiting. We're talking about recruiting. Another big class coming in. But you got to coach these guys up. Now you have your coach Ryan Grubb in here. You have your staff. Most of these guys are your guys. This is your team. No more Saban. This is your team. So what he does this year, he's going to be judged on a different scale than how he was judged coming in, following Saban, coming in January, having to clean up some mess to get a season going. Now you're there. He's going to be locked in. If he goes 8-4, yeah, we're going to be pissed off. But I don't think he gets fired. But I think that third season, heads could be rolling. So I don't think he's on the hot seat. I think the seat is lukewarm. But from the fan base, we lose one game, the seat gonna burn up on it.
The fan base doesn't care about the recruiting class. They don't think about stuff like that. So they don't
give a damn. Yeah. And we talk about y'all in the chat. Y'all don't give a damn.
And Joe, to allude
recruiting class. Hey. But if we go 8-4, get his ass out of town.
To allude what Joe said the NFL wouldn't call Kalen because he's too soft. No, sorry, the NFL soft, bro. They ain't no hard coaching in the NFL, bro.
Ain't nobody coaches are leaving.
Yeah, ain't no hard coaching in the NFL. And there ain't really no hard coaching like that anytime nowadays because the kids can't take that. That was a different era versus now. I remember eras where I've seen some crazy thing at football practices versus like where you would be people would be getting sanctioned out of schools. But yeah, so different time, different place. Is DeBoer under pressure to perform? I say yes, because obviously at Alabama you have to perform. It ain't just him; it's anybody. But is it a little bit more consuming last year? A unicorn type year is what I say. Saban left, lost some games, but at one point was at the mountaintop. And then we just nosedive straight, no parachute, Vandy, bam. Started coming back up. Oh, we look good. Oh, we stumbled, Tennessee, and then we just forgot. We forgot everything. Like we just took off when Oklahoma came. I don't know. That game confused me so
I don't want to
bad.
talk about that game anymore. That game hurts my heart.
I go back and
Because
rewatch it to try to see, man.
Yeah,
but
we were there. That was awful.
Oh, man.
Too soon.
I was so mad.
I think the team just was under turmoil last year for some reason. The team was never together last season. Everybody wasn't bought in, and we know that.
I agree. And
they
at times,
admitted that too,
at times they was. At times they was, but then like you could definitely see the disconnect when there was tension. It was no, There was no like togetherness when it was tension. Hopefully, it's different this year. And from what I'm seeing, camaraderie from different guys on social media and stuff like that.
Hey man, shout out to Penn State Sports Talk in the chat. They talking about they win 9 games. They good. Hey man, look, Penn State and Alabama. We talking levels here. We're talking Alabama's up here. We talking Penn State. Y'all,
you can't see them. Go down lower, JB. We can't see it on screen. Go down lower.
Y'all have one good season, Penn State. One good season. But you know, and he's making a good point because you also can look at Lane Kiffin. Look how long he's been at Ole Miss. He hasn't even made the playoffs. Look at that. He goes 9-3 every year, 9-3, 8-4. And nobody's got Lane Kiffin on the hot seat. Hugh Freeze, he need to be on the damn hot seat.
Agreed.
But it just tells you Alabama is a different animal. Alabama is a different animal. So when you talk 100%. Bama and you talk about expectations and the Bama standards, no pun intended, it's totally different from all these other Rudy Poo teams.
Yeah.
The Rudy Pooty, that boy pulled a rock on him, boy.
I'm in my rock bag tonight.
He's in that rock bag tonight. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it too, JB. When you start talking about the like Lane Kiffin, great way to point that out there. I think, like I said, DeBoer under pressure for him, yes. This year, don't think it will be a firing thing. But if he turns up and shows out, man, I would not be shocked if the NFL don't call, man. That's all I'm saying. Mm-hmm. I'll button it up with that. I wouldn't be shocked if they call. I'm not saying like 9-3 they calling. I'm talking about him doing what all of us want to happen.
He got to win the natty.
Yes,
yeah, he got to win the natty.
Yeah,
I'm not calling if it ain't a natty.
I'm going to say it like this, bro. DeBoer, say we're in December and we hadn't even sweated a game all year. We don't even know what it's like to be trailing. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. I agree, but it's going to change. Right now, you're saying that.
I don't think he's ready to move on anyway, and I wouldn't call him. Plus, you don't get to recruit in the NFL.
I agree. So what I'm saying is, though, man, it's either way, it's one of those things that like somebody calls, man. You're like, oh dang, like it's your dream. You know, we don't know. We don't know that. No, I'm not saying it is or isn't going to happen.
Okay. Look, if I'm wrong on the very next show when it happens, I will not be here. So there you go. I will miss that week.
I'll call myself out in December if I'm wrong.
Well, you know what they're gonna do? They're just gonna give them a raise. They're just gonna give them a raise every time the phone's all right. Man, give them some more money. But that's what winning does. That's what winning does. Winning gets you paid.
I like that too. So good way to end off the show right there, guys. We're gonna move to the question and answers. Herb, you know what to do. Let's pull them up.
Let's see what we got.
Start us off. Let's see. Joshua. Who do you think leads tackles this season? Who do you think leads sacks? Who do you think leads interceptions? Who do you think leads forced fumbles? Okay, some good questions.
About a loaded question.
Defense. So, Josh, tackles. If I had to get somebody off the top of my head, give me Lawson. He's right there in the middle of it. He's gonna get a lot of action, a lot of bang bang.
I agree.
I was give me Lawson on that. Sacks. Ooh, give me LT. Yes. I think LT is going to have a bomb year this year. And if I have an underdog, 2 of them, give me Keeley and give me Yonze Pierre because I like both of them too on the line that are quick, they're rushers, quick. Gonna be some guys to look at there. Who leads interceptions? Oh man, this is gonna come down to godly. Our whole DB group this is like a pick them how you want to right here. Give me that man Bray. I like him in the back there.
That's my pick.
Good vision in the back. He can see it a little bit better, but Sab, don't look far from Sab being back and healthy and playing. Also, we haven't seen DeJohn Lee yet. That man's like 6'3", 6'4". So that's going to throw some quarterbacks off. They're going to misjudge his size.
Yeah.
And that's going to cost a pick or two this year. Who do you think leads forced fumbles? Who? Now, that one right there is going to be that's a good question. I think Lawson could be in this argument here. Tim Keenan possibly too, right there in the middle. Getting in the middle right there with the running backs and maybe getting a sack in that middle. But I'm definitely going to go with I'd probably go with Lawson if I had to again right here. Lawson's going to be in the middle. I expect a big year out of him this year coming back to Bama off the injury. Still got some things to prove, trying to up his draft stock right here. And don't forget, last year Lawson got – I know it's an interception or a forced fumble, but quick hands in the LSU game. Got him a pick. The man's a nice hitter in the middle right here too. So
I like Quay Russo. I like Quay Russo leading the forced fumbles.
Quay's a good one too. That's a really good one. That's
got good hands. He's quick.
Quick.
Yeah. Strip the
and
ball.
Also,
I like Quay Russo.
Quay could be another guy for sacks too. That's a guy I left out. If we're talking about sack leader, LT is one is my main. Quay could be right there with him too, though.
I think LT is due, man. I think just wrap up, finish the play. We had about 10 sacks last season. He could have had about 10 sacks if he just wrapped up and finished the play.
His little spin off the edge, like he'll come off and spin off the guy, is so quick, man. Where he goes inside and out. Man, it's nice. I like watching LT play.
I'm watching LT every play on defense because I want to see him finish some plays.
Yeah,
I like.
He got a chance to play himself into a solid first-round pick too.
Yes,
that's what I was going to get at too with those sacks right there. He started doing that, and they'll be like, "Oh, so he's like a third down specialist. Okay, we need to draft him." And you if you can sack the quarterback, you gonna get paid and get up there. You're gonna get on the field too. So yeah, that'd be good. Oh, Damani Jackson that's another good one right there. We was talking about.
I didn't take him because he doesn't get thrown at that much.
That's what I was going to say.
He's more of a lockdown guy.
It's like Revis Island.
Yeah,
it's like Revis Island.
That's the only reason why I didn't go with him.
Yeah.
I feel like Bray Hubbard or Keon Sapp gonna lead us in interceptions.
Yeah, I like Bray.
Damani Brown too. I like Damani Brown.
Damani Brown, and like I said, we sit here and name the whole DB room.
I mean, not Damani Brown. Xavier Brown.
Xavier Brown. We was talking about Damani Jackson.
Xavier Brown.
We was talking about Damani Jackson. That's why he said that. Yeah. But yeah, pull the next one up. JB hit this one for us, brother.
Do you think Tank Jones would sign with Bama? Yes, I think so. I don't have any intel. I think the feeling is there. We need to get these in-state guys. I mentioned Cedarian Morgan, and we get him. We get Tank Jones. I think we're good, man. Both of those guys already visited Bama. The vibes seem to be good. The picture went viral with Nick Saban and being Nick Saban's whatever that was, that picture. Everybody say Saban out there recruiting. The bad man is in town and all that. But no, Tank would not sign with Auburn. I see that in the chat.
I think so. I mean, if anything, it's Tanks might sign with us or Michigan. If I'm not mistaken, Michigan is in the running too.
Michigan's throwing out some money lately too.
Just about to say Michigan's hot with them right now. If I'm not mistaken, I do know we're making a big push.
Yep.
But if I'm not mistaken, it's Michigan that's making it's us or Michigan. If I'm not mistaken, when it comes down to Tank Jones.
Yeah, stay home, Tank. We got that NIL too.
I'm with JB. I want him to stay home. If not, I mean, we still got some more guys lined up. That's coming too.
That's true.
We're not done yet. We are not done yet. Put a next one for us, Herb.
This your guy, Penn State. Want to know about the other wide receivers outside of Ryan Williams. I mean, the number 2 on the roster, clearly Jeremy Bernard, the Washington transfer. Probably, if everyone was honest, was the steadiest wide receiver last year because Ryan Williams kind of settled. Yep. Isaiah Horton, who has history with Ty Simpson, Miami transfer, tracks the ball really well. Probably the highlight of the A-Day was him catching it. Yeah, I mean, great player. Then, I mean, after that, you just started to name her. Lutzier Brooks is probably going to be in the mix. Jalen Hale,
Cole Adams,
healthy. Cole Adams. Does Bot get in there? I mean, he might be 9th on the list, and they might have promised him something to get him there.
Jim Miller's going to get moved out there a little bit, too, from the running back. Like I said, he catches them out in the backfield some.
Rico Scott, that was the name I was trying to think of.
Rico Scott.
So the wide receiver room is deep. I've said this before, man. If we did not have we had a game without Ryan Williams and Jerry Bernard, and we had like an Isaiah Horton and a Jalen Hale starting or Brooks, if he gets out there, I still think this offense would be dangerous. So, I like the depth in our wide receiver room.
I do too.
Yeah, I think Jeremy Bernard may. I mean, I'm agreeing with Ephraim in the chat. He may lead us in catches or yards or something like that.
He was steady, dude. He just didn't get as many looks last year.
He was a solid 5 or 6 catches for 65 to 80 yards.
When I tell you, I didn't see him drop anything.
No,
my eyes did not see him drop anything.
Do you remember that pass he caught? I think it was against Missouri or Vanderbilt. I cannot remember. I think it was Vanderbilt. It might have been Vanderbilt. He was on the sidelines, 2 defenders, front, back, him in the middle, and I'm talking about just straight boom, boy. I'm talking. The throw was perfect too by Milroe, but the catch was it was a great catch there.
Yeah, you got to
appreciate the show. Roll Tide. Hey man,
Gelato.
Appreciate that. Gelato.
Appreciate you, sir. Thank you.
Appreciate that and you stopping by for us and checking us out too, man. I think I saw Joshua
10, y'all got to split the $9.99. I get the 10, y'all split the $9.99.
I mean that's fair. You the big ticket, so that's fair.
I'll just messing now.
And I just want to say this: Red Horton is my favorite on this team this year, so I definitely think he makes a name for himself. Yeah, Isaiah Horton.
Okay.
He gonna ball.
Give me, if I had to go favorite on that outside of Ryan Williams, I like Durham too though. But I like Josh's question right here. Which freshman do you think will see meaningful playing time? I've said his name a whole lot already. Dejon Lee. I'll say it again. The dude's 6'3", 6'4". Is super fast. He's like a tall Minkah Fitzpatrick. If you can watch him play, he's jerky, he's quick, he's movable, durable. Good, great size. And obviously the problem is people talk about Sauce Gardner being one of the best DBs, and they talk about being 6'1", 6'2", and they're like, that's a big thing for him being that big and being able to move how he does. They say that doesn't transition a lot from high school to college to the NFL. It doesn't transition that well. It always stops somewhere. So they're saying, though, that Dejon Lee's going to be able to do it. And from the film we've seen, man, he's looking good. And I've seen some plays where the ball is about to drop in a bucket, and you just see this man come over top, and you think he was the wide receiver. For a second, you're like, whoa, that was the DB? Oh, okay. Because I had that moment when I was like, oh, that's the DB. Okay, yeah. That's good, though. So I think he's going to get him a pick or two baiting some people that way. So give me Dejon Lee, meaningful playing time as a freshman. And if I had to go offense, Brooks.
Definitely.
I think Brooks, I won't say he'll be starting the season off, but I would not be shocked to see him in the first couple drives. Just a play or two. Just throw him out there. And Saban used to do that all the time.
Especially in those first 3 or 4 games, too.
Saban used to put people in moments just to see how they would react. I remember him talking about that, like putting Cooper in the national championship game as a freshman, and they said something about it, and he was like, I'm trying to see how this guy would act during this play, just to see what would happen if I could basically see if he could trust you.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you like this. I'm gonna tell you like this because we're off the Saban era, and now these days you got to play these guys. You got to play these freshmen.
You do,
because guess what? When the portal opens up, they will get gone just like that because they know we can go get this same money or more somewhere else.
Play.
And let me also say this: we missed the guy on defense who I believe may get some meaningful playing time. That's Ivan Taylor, Ike Taylor's son.
Oh yes,
his daddy, an all-time great Pittsburgh Steelers NFL cornerback, safety. Ivan Taylor, when he gets on the field, I believe it's going to be hard to get him off the field.
I agree with that.
I agree with that.
Good picks. Good picks.
Yeah.
You actually have another super chat, then you got to jump in here first too.
Yes, so
okay.
Numbers prediction.
Let's do it real quick. JB, shoot.
Jam Miller. I say he get about 850 yards rushing, probably about 10 touchdowns. He may get about 400 yards receiving and about 2 or 3 touchdowns. I don't think he goes super crazy, but he has some good, solid production.
Yeah.
Give me 900 total passing and receiving. It'll be right in there, 900 total. Give me probably 8 to 10 touchdowns. 8 to 10 touchdowns, receiving and rushing. Might get 1 or 2 receiving. I think he'll get the bulk in the rushing. But yeah, the reason Oh, he said 1,100 yards, 11 TDs, 150 receiving. Okay, so that's about 12. That's 12. Okay, so I like that. That's some confidence. I'm not saying he couldn't do that, but I'm just saying there's a lot of mouths to feed. Is why
that's
I'm saying
that's how I've always. I don't think we get 1,000-yard rusher just because we.
And not by Ty, not by his mouth to feed, but by Richard Young's to beat. Daniel Hill's probably with some burn. Now injuries happen, and we get to where Jam Miller and this one other guy, and Daniel Hill and Jam Miller, or somebody like that, and then you might see Jam get the burn more, where it was kind of like a Devontae Smith-Waddle situation. When Waddle went down, Devontae Smith essentially won the Heisman off that. I would say that helped him win the Heisman because it was all the production to him mostly.
Yeah.
But I like that.
It's going to be interesting to see how we use the running backs because we both agree. We all agree that Jam Miller and Richard Young is running back 1 and 2. A and B.
By the way, that's the next question too. By the way, so just don't.
Okay, go JB. Go JB.
Okay. What running back will take the starting role? Jam Miller. I say Jam Miller's running back 1, Richard Young's running back 2, and then running back 3. We didn't talk about Dre Washington, the transfer in from Louisiana. We didn't talk about him, but he's coming in for a reason. He brings a different dynamic to the team. I think he's going to see some playing time. How much, I don't know, because we mentioned Daniel Hill. Him being a force right there. A.K. Deere, Kevin Riley. So we have 6 really good, capable running backs. But I think Jam Miller will be the workhorse. He will probably have the most carries, the most yards, most touchdowns. But Richard Young is going to come to play, and Richard Young is going to be a force. He's going to have his moments this season.
You got another super chat to slide in here. There's a lot of jumping to the front of the
Ty Simpson's numbers. All right.
That's how you jumping to the front of the questions right there.
Yeah, this is Ty Simpson's numbers. Herb, hit that for us real quick. What you feel?
I'm trying to think of what we even had last year. What was an average? So like Carson Beck was like 3,000, 3,500.
Yeah, you're looking about average right now. Quarterback I'd probably say around 3 to 3,200. 3K, 33.2K.
Over 3,000 passing yards. I think he'll have a high completion percentage. I don't think Ty throws many bad passes. So right in that range. What's your average touchdowns? I think he's gonna hit 30 touchdowns. I think he's gonna build that up. I think he's gonna have good numbers there. So about 3,000 yards, 30 touchdowns, somewhere in that range. Hitting the mid-60s completion percentage. Low interceptions though. Low interceptions. I'm gonna say Ty has.
Yeah, I was about to say under 6. I was just gonna say under 6-ish interceptions for the year, and I think 2 of those will be tip balls.
Something crazy.
So I say I like Jada saying 3,800. I would probably say that would be his a boom season for him. 38 to 4K. That's obviously a boom.
You talking about him?
Yeah, that's a boom one. Give me 32.
You, by the way, too.
Give me 3,200 for him. If someone on Bama wins the Heisman, who do you think it will be? How many Bama players do you think will be on Heisman watch, and who will be on the Heisman watch? All right, so let's start it off here. If it's somebody, I think it's gonna be this man right here.
Yes.
Hollywood Williams, if it is somebody. Now, am I not saying that Ty could not be on there? No, I'm not saying that. That could happen. He has 3,800, 400 rushing, 35 touchdowns. He might be in some. It depends. Might be in some arguments. Depends. He has 4,000 passing yards. He's going to be in that debate probably with some rushing too, and touchdowns. So Ryan Williams definitely could. Think about this. He starts out 100-yard game, 200, 300, something like that, right in there, and he booms. Oh, dude, he would stay up there at that point if he just kept the momentum going in the Heisman race. So I'll give me Ryan Williams. How many Bama players? I think it's 1, maybe 2. And Williams, Ty Simpson, Jam Miller if dark horse, Jam Miller. Because if we somehow start running the ball super crazy, and that's our MO is run the ball, and Jam pops off some type of way, that would be a dark horse for me for Bama. But I say
Jam got to have down to 2,000 yards.
That's why I'm saying. That's why I'm saying.
And I think Daniel Hill's going to snipe.
Team.
I think he's going to snipe some of his third down and snipe some of his
touchdowns
at the goal line. I think that's what's going to keep his numbers down. So
yeah.
And the question we had all kind of answered, but somebody said in there, do we think there was going to be 1,000-yard rusher? And I think we all picked our lead back is less than 1,000. So I think
about 850, 900.
Yeah.
I know combined we will.
Right. Combined, I think it'll be fine.
Yeah.
All right.
Gotta have 2,000-yard rusher. Huh?
You said you wanted one more?
We got one more? Okay, what we got? What do you think the lowest scoring game will be, and who do you think the game would? Man, that LSU. I think it's something about the LSU game this year. I know we was talking. We had JC on last week. We were talking about LSU defense, man, and we don't have Jalen Milroe to run through them this year. So it's going to be a different game. I think it'll be one of those 21-17 games. One of those games, like, because we've seen the big blowout last year, the LSU game. We've seen the games that was high scoring when they had Jaden Daniels, the duel between Jaden Daniels and Jalen Milroe. I'll never forget that game because I was there. Great game, high energy, high scoring. But I think this year it may be a little different defensive wise. Tennessee game may also be low scoring. Between Tennessee and LSU, I think it could be the Georgia game because we've seen the Georgia game, just like the SEC championship, be kind of low scoring too. So
I would probably throw South Carolina into that mix too.
Oh, yes, that's right. That's right. Defense. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I like that Tennessee pick that somebody posted out there. I think that was a good one as well.
I think we get Tennessee by like 31 this year.
What?
Put it to them, boy. Put it to them.
I changed my mind. I think Georgia, though. I think Georgia because it's on the road. Georgia game is on the road. That game was crazy last year. Crazy weird, crazy scoring. I think this year may be a 20 to 17 game or something like that. So, yeah.
Yeah, and we're going to Athens, bro.
I picked Georgia. Mm-hmm.
Going to Athens is what's it changed my own mind. Yeah, going to Athens is going to be a good one, man. I was on a podcast the other night with a Georgia fan. They had me and the Dogfather on. We've had him on before. Me and him was talking, and he was saying that game right there is going to be one of the biggest games of the year, if not the biggest, and I agree. Last year it was the game of the year, the best game of the year. Yeah. Normally when Alabama and Georgia play with us, SEC championship or regular season, it's the best game of the year. It's always a great game. So I'm excited for that one, man. That's going to be a good one.
I got a question. Before we leave, I got a question for everybody. Chat, everybody. If we lose the Georgia game, how are we feeling for the rest of the year? Are we feeling down?
Depends, bro. Do we get dog walked or do we just barely lose? Because I think that depends. If we get dog walked by 40, like, oh shit, what happened? But we got beat by a wonky field goal off a pass interference that got him in field goal range. Okay, we'll get them back in the SEC championship. Something like that. I think it really depends on how they lose, in my opinion.
I think what he said right there.
And it being on the road, you give DeBoer, I wouldn't say like a little bit of like, oh yeah, go lose the game, but you're on the road against literally, in my opinion, the top of the top college football you're gonna get, especially outside of Bama. Right next door to us, Georgia. I mean, that's top level. That's the best you're gonna get in college football. So you lose by a field goal because of a pass interference call off of a wanky play. That's what you learn from, and then you show that you learned it, and you beat that team in the playoffs or the SEC championship. So answer that, JB. That would be mine. That's how we would lose, brother.
I don't see a dog walking. The only dog walking I see is that after we beat them, they walk their damn dogs out of the stadium. That's the only dog walking I'm gonna see in Athens when the Crimson Tide come roll. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, Gelato, what he said. I'm more scared of South Carolina than I am Georgia, to be honest.
Yep.
I ain't scared of nobody, man. Man, we ain't scared of nobody.
I don't mean it like. Hold on. Time out. We
ain't scared of nobody, JT. Rephrase that, my brother.
Let me rephrase that. We are not scared. We are not scared. We are a little bit concerned. Okay, we'll say just a little concerned. Because South Carolina, they made me look twice last year. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, whoa, what are we doing? Why am I holding on to the last second of this game? Why does this feel so familiar? It just just
that
not,
was our fault, man. That game, that was
it
our
was.
fault. that
It
game.
was. We should have closed that game out before we were up. We were up. We could have closed that game out. But we had.
bullshit.
How many times did that happen before, though, bro? That season, we talk about we could have closed games. We could have closed Tennessee out at one point. Could have boomed them out, but just couldn't score. And then we throwing picks and just fun times. That's the end of the night, though, guys. Thank you guys for joining us. Before we go, though, I'm gonna let the fellas say where they can find you at. JB, what you got going on, brother?
Man, just chilling, man. You already know what it is. You can find me here Sunday night Talk'n Bama with the guys. Sunday night, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. So ready for the football season to kick off. You will get the first reaction with us on 24 hours after the game. So y'all ain't gonna miss us each and every Sunday when the football season starts. It's gonna be wild up in here, and I'm gonna be the loudest voice in the room. But you can also find me Sports Talking with JB right there. You see it on the hat. Go subscribe to the YouTube channel, Sports Talking with JB. I got a new schedule coming out pretty soon. I will be at a lot of these games, and I will be posting that as well. So go subscribe to my YouTube channel, Sports Talking with JB.
One of the best out there.
One of the best there is, baby. My boy got me started as well. Herb, let the people know what you got going on, brother.
Like you said, starting here every Sunday night at 7 o'clock with these fine gentlemen. Then we stream live Herb and Raj podcast Tuesday nights, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. We also stream here on the network, so you don't have to go far to find us. Then Saturday night, we a little bit more relaxed. We like to hydrate properly. 7:30 Saturday night Central Time. Just come and talk about whatever. Take a lot of heavy questions and just have a good time. Just check us out, Herb and Raj podcast on YouTube. Please subscribe. We're on our road, way far behind. But we're trying to get to 500 before football season. So help us out. Give us a like and subscribe there. So
make sure y'all go over to Herb and Raj podcast, like and subscribe. Help the boys out. Guys, make sure you always check us out here on Sunday Night Talk'n Bama, 7 p.m. Central Time. I'm JT, your host. We've had a wonderful night here on Sunday. Do not forget, guys, and I repeat, do not forget this. Auburn has not won an Iron Bowl this decade. All right? So before an Auburn fan talks to you or they say something to you, remind them they ain't won an Iron Bowl in this decade. And also remind them this. Their best ranking in football sports is from a video game in the last 7 years. So remind them that too, guys. And just let them know. Won't give a piss about nothing but time, baby.